Pasta of summer. That's what we're making today. Lots of vegetables from the garden, and we're going to make some nice whole grain pasta. I'm trying to stick with whole grain. It's a little bit healthier. I like the texture of it, and we're going to infuse some citrus with this, with regular vegetables from the garden. I literally picked these peppers about a minute ago, and I just seeded them here. And we're going to dice them. We're going to add that to our pasta. A nice fresh crisp flavor, as well as the sweetness from the pepper. And I'm going to add some cucumbers from the garden. And you want to take the seeds out, so I'm just going to scoop it on out like this. There we go. And then scoop it out here like that, same way. And then we're going to chop that. Now we can chop this into, probably cubed would be the best way to do it, so. And then we can chop it in this fashion over here. And these are really, this is a crispy cucumber, let me tell you. This is going to add a nice summertime flavor. I'll tell you, very little says summertime, like a fresh cucumber over here. I'm going to infuse some lime, that's going to be at the last minute over here. I am going to grill these mushrooms, which I only halved, and I've got some scallions over here, which I'm going to grill as well. So we're going to grill these two, and then we're going to chop, I'm not going to chop these, I'm going to chop those up a little bit finer. We're going to add that into the pasta. And we're going to have fresh cherry tomatoes that I just picked from the garden. I've got some rosemary that I just chopped up fine, and we're going to add some basil, but that's very rough cut. That's going to give it a nice, wonderful flavor and color. Extra virgin olive oil, fresh cracked pepper, and sea salt. So I'm going to start working on the grilling. Time to add the pasta over here. I'm using a different kind of pan for this, a skillet. It's not really big enough. That's the only thing I have right now, unfortunately. So I'm just going to have to make do. Sometimes you just have to make do with what you got. And I'm going to do some chopping here. Scallions just came off the grill and they're nice and tender. I'm going to use part of the green as well as the white part because they both have a fantastic flavor. You don't need to actually to grill these actually. If you like them with a little bit more bite, and that is understandable. It's funny because once you grill them, they get a little softened and they're a little harder to chop, which you think is the opposite of what would happen. But over here I also have the other green vegetables that I'm adding into it, which was the cucumber and the sweet bell pepper. Now I decided I'm going to add also some fresh tomatoes from my garden, as well as the small little grape tomatoes, or the sweet tomatoes. I want to make sure I have enough, and the consistency of these are a little bit different. The flavor is a little bit different. The little baby ones are very sweet, and these add a little bit more acidity to it. So we're going to have a combination of flavors of the sweet potato, the sweet tomato, and also the well, these are very sweet. You know, they're fresh from the garden, but a little bit more acidic than the little cherry tomatoes. We've got our pasta over here. I'm going to add the green to it. All of the green vegetables. Give it a nice little color. I'm going to add some of the tomato over here as well. Hey, remember that one of the episodes where I said you can get the biggest bowl that you can find and it ends up being too small? I think it's going to happen again. What do you do? I'm going to start to toss that up just a little bit over here with the pasta. Okay, let's add the citrus. And this is just a little bit of orange. You can use anything you want. Try to keep it seedless so nobody finds a little crunch in there someplace. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of lime over here. Now, lime is, the juice of one should do. This is pretty acidic and you don't want that to take over. You know what, there's no seeds in these guys, which is nice. But these are key limes. A little bit of the zest of the orange. Zest of orange is amazing. People use zest of limes, zest of lemons, but they forget the zest of an orange. And the aroma of that is fantastic. The oils that come out of that are phenomenal. Okay, here comes a little bit of mushroom. Now I cook extra mushrooms. I don't really put everything in usually, because I'll use those for another side dish. This was a big bowl, wasn't it? Right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's not acting like it. Look at
Not
how big
anymore.
this thing is, too. All right, now I'm going to put in some rosemary over here. And a little bit of cheese. What I have here is queso quesadilla and some asadero and some Monterey Jack. And that's going to add a nice little flavor. And I've got my buddy basil over here. Love basil. I think I'll put in a little bit more. This was, I just cut this from the garden just a few minutes ago once again. Love the summertime for that. I mean, can you beat that? Okay. Looks like that's going to be about all the tossing I'll do for now. Got to be very cautious with it here. Okay. Very good. So this is our pasta for the summer. And, oh, let's do one more thing. Pinch of salt. I added some salt as I went along. And some fresh pepper. And one more thing. The extra virgin olive oil. Can't forget that. How much? Well, this is a big bowl once again, so you can be pretty liberal with it. I'm probably going to put about 1/4 cup because it is for the pasta. It's going to help it to blend up a bit too as well. It's going to tie all the flavors in together. Okay, all set. Pasta of the summer. It is done now. It's a few key ingredients over here that I find are really going to add to the flavor. The citrus. Most people don't have that added to it, but it really gives a different dimension to it. And you can, the extra virgin olive oil, don't forget that. If you use the infused extra virgin olive oil, like I did in one of my segments, that acts wonderful too. Or you can just add the fresh spices, rosemary, thyme, and add the fresh basil. You can leave the leaves whole or cut them in half so that it gives a visual as well as a wonderful flavor to it. So, okay, enjoy everybody.